podcast. Here we explore the edges and the seams between animism, ritual, magic, and an apothecary of uncommon thoughts. For you wild ones, you ones who work with the land and the earth and the cyclical nature of the elements, and understand the importance of doing the inner work for the greater chains outside of us. So here we are in the window of Imbolc, the belly of the mother, where we begin to watch the life around us starting to shudder and pulse with possibility. But my dears, I feel we are still in the winter edges, where winter meets spring. And one of the musings that I have today is really about the in-between and my own journey around the discomfort of playing with the betwixt energy, playing with what it means to not be formed in ourself. And just recently, yesterday, we had a beautiful community ritual, Imbolc ritual, and we called upon the queer elements. And so these queer elements of dust and smoke and steam and mud, which is where the elements kind of that meeting point, that mingling point, where the colors of life kind of blend together so that we don't have these like stark fixed, that we're not just holding the fixed elements of earth, air, fire, and water. We're kind of playing with where the elements meet. And so I've been really exploring that in my body, in my nervous system, in my life, as I have a fair amount of really real in-between moments happening, impactful in-between moments happening right now. And so it's been interesting to watch and to sense where that alchemy happens within us. And in that that alchemical process of sitting with the in-between, what does it call upon within us? Like what kind of grit and receptivity and malleability is needed for us to actually let that in between, that alchemizing betwixt magic, have its way with us and go into like thinking like, let the smoke go follow you and go in every crevice of the parts of you that need to be with where air and fire meet inside of yourself. There's mud, like playing with, okay, sometimes with the mud, we're where water and earth are meeting, but it's wet and it's sticky and we can form it and we can shape it, but it also can be something that we get stuck in. So feeling into what that means for us and for you, if there was a merging of two elements right now, the qualities of those elements, maybe what would those be? And so I think for me, something that's been coming up is the importance of not prematurely trying to like make it into the realm of the formed. So I know I have this like tendency to be like, well, how can I structure something how can I actualize this in-between magic into something? Because it's so powerful, right? Like it's the in-between energy is something that we can form into something, but it also takes a slowing down and a deep listening, because it's not our responsibility to always form it. Sometimes it just needs to kind of rattle around or find its way through us, but it doesn't need us to do anything like very action-based with it. So that's my musing today for Imbolc, and for this time where we can still breathe with the in-between and let the in-between kind of be met with whatever comes up for you in that, but to meet it with that authentic experience. So not trying to get away from me, like the anxiety or like I feel it like kind of this like quickening of anxiety in my system. And so just breathing with that quickening, noticing where in your body that those two elements might be merging in you, maybe playing with those two elements, maybe feeling what that is for you, if it's mud, if it's dust, if it's smoke, if it's, what's the other one? Steam. And if you want to play with it more, you can create a ritual where you start to blend those two elements together, and you can allocate them. Okay, what does the water represent for me? What does water turning into earth represent for me? So there's this, just for me, I feel like that's more what I'm playing with. And also around here in the wet coast, it's like it's mud time, like the rains are here. So playing with what in me is fluid, what in me is seeking to find form, and then what is this like form, the container that is the riverbank. But how do I play with where they're meeting in me that's muddy and mucky, and it hasn't dried out yet, like it hasn't shaped the vessel that can hold and have both elements in their containment, and that's all right. So that's my musing for you. Do reach out if you have any ways that these elements are working through you. And blessings on this betwixt time of the year. Until next.